I made an intention that I was going to be called.
We know.
Last night.
And you were taking action to make it happen. Sort of efforting to make it happen.
I dressed up nice. I took a shower, my hair. And because I don't always raise my hand when I come to these things. Yeah. But I said to myself, this is one thing that I know how to do. Like if I want to do it, I can get into this seat. This is my 4th time.
And can you feel the evolution of the message? We were aware of you, and you were aware that we were aware of you.
I knew it was going to be the 3rd segment, too.
Well, what we wanted for you was for you to have the benefit of everything that we talked about before you sat down.
Yeah, I could feel that. I knew that the first time it wasn't ready. The first question, I could feel it.
Well, finally, your impatience subsided.
Yeah.
And then there you were.
I was working on it.
Yeah. So you're here.
So I'm here.
What do you want?
So I really, really simple. It seems like for years and years and years, it's so simple, right? You just have to find ways to feel good.
Feel for just a little bit how that for years and years and years puts a little complexity in it that's not necessary. You get what we're talking about? It explains a sort of impatience or even urgency. So let that subside just a little bit and just try to sit in a fresh new place and just have a conversation about something that you'd like to understand a little further.
I have a business, and I'm kind of trying to teach people it's network marketing, right? So, I know Jerry knew about that a little bit, and it's super difficult sometimes because you have to kind of inspire people to be interested in what you're doing, but the whole world of that is very motivational and very and so I'm trying to teach people, because now I'm trying to have my Facebook thing, I have my page, and I have to put inspiring quotes. And I just think to myself, well, and my mom, everyone, to tell people you just have to relax and, enjoy life and things will happen.
Well, all of that is true. There are a lot of people that believe that if you throw enough mud on the wall, some of it will stick, and it will, but it's really the hard way of going about it. And so if you approach it in terms of attraction, but then there's a difference in what we mean by attraction, preparing yourself vibrationally and then receiving, and what you think we mean. And we're going to make out the distinction clearly for you. All day long here today, we've been talking about getting into the receptive mode and then following the impulse. There are so many people that will benefit and find pleasure and satisfaction from playing with you in this. But you don't know who they are, but your inner being does. Your inner being knows who's ready for what. And so rather than just trying to go through the numbers, if you get this inspiration and then you follow this inspiration to a place, to a conversation, so that it unfolds naturally. There are a lot of people that are open to what you know unless you're coming after them. When you ask someone to listen and they're not in a listening mood, then their answer's always going to be no, even when what they really probably meant was yes. If you push someone to a decision before they're ready to make it on their own, they'll almost always say no. Think about the people who call you on the telephone that you never even listen to what they have to say. You just hang up the minute that you realize that it's somebody there wanting to get you to do something that they think that you think would benefit you. Well, this isn't something that you're thinking will only benefit you. You want source energy to put you together. You want it to be mutually beneficial. And so as you acknowledge that that's what you mean, and you meditate not on that subject, but just because you want to meditate, and then you follow your impulses, the impulse might not seem like it is taking you directly to what you want, but it's taking you indirectly to what you want, and then indirectly, and then indirectly, and indirectly, and indirectly. That's what getting ready to be ready to be ready to be ready. Going directly to what you want is different than indirectly, directly. You see what we're getting at? Don't misunderstand. We're not asking you to take non-action. We're asking you to take inspired action. We're asking you to wait until there is someone really ready to know what you know, because you know about this network marketing thing, but you also know about creation. You also know about creating your own reality. You also know that all things are possible. You also know that you can be or do or have anything that you want. These are very unique individuals that you want to attract to you. You don't want to attract the ones that you have to pump up every day, that you have to go do a cheerleading session for. You have to wake up, that you have to say, you need to get out of bed and go outside. You want somebody who's already got something going on. You want to attract someone who already knows that they want more out of life, who's already eager about the way things unfold, who's ready to match up with the kind of creative energy flow that you've got going on. And that's not just anybody, but that's enough to bring you all that you want. You see, you've got more than just wanting financial gain for yourself. You're an uplifter. You are a teacher. All of those things are taken into consideration when you receive an impulse, you see. So the question that we want to put to all of you, especially to you, but to all of you, how are you going to get to the place where you trust the impulse that's coming? And the answer to that question is, first, you got to know for sure that you were in the receiving mode. So you got to meditate for a while until you know what it feels like to be doing it or what it feels like to not be doing it. You have to know what it feels like when you are detached. You have to know what it feels like for your own mind to stop thinking. You have to know what a quieted mind feels like before you can know that when it's activated again, that it's coming from source. Because if you don't quiet your mind down, you could be picking it up from anywhere. And there's so much conversation about that subject of network marketing or anything that is in the way of what people want, you see.
So, but people want, and I want to feel good. That's the bottom line of all of this. And so I just want to simplify it as much as possible in my life. I told myself, I started listening to you, and it's been about 18 years when I started. I was like 18, and now I'm close to, getting to the 36 point, not yet, but I felt like all that time I'm getting like reversing all that stuff that happened in the first 18 years to get myself to actually being able to feel good and not feel guilty for feeling good and not working hard, because I got straight A's, I went to college, I got brought up, and my mom, even who introduced me to you, she's very into like working hard. And so it's funny because now I'm the one who's like so
let us help you. Let's call focusing hard work. Let's call tuning into the energy that creates worlds hard work. Let's also call it rare and really, really valuable. It takes some doing to focus. Determination is really a powerful and wonderful thing. But consider the effort factor, because we've talked a lot about it and you've heard it before. Focusing is effort. So let's make the distinction. What receiving mode am I responding to and therefore applying my effort? Am I in the receiving mode that says it takes a lot of hard work and you got to meet really, really, really a lot of people, and there's not very many people that'll be very good at this, and you just have to have perseverance and you just have to keep going, and there's lots of times that you'll just want to kill yourself and it's just going to feel like you're not going to want to go any further, and so that's the receiving mode. And that is so difficult to overcome. In other words, you're not going to get any good leads or any good juices flowing or have very much fun if that's the way you are approaching life, no matter what it is that you're working on. But if you understand that you are an extension of source energy, and that source energy is eternal, and that it's flowing through all of you, and that there is so much of it that is evident around you, and that it is abundant, it is ready for you to receive. And not only is it abundant and ready for you to receive, like the electricity that flows through the walls, but you have an inner being who knows exactly what you've been asking for, who's standing and focused with you and on you and through you about things that are important to you. You have a mentor, a personal mentor, who knows everything about you, who has powerful energy and lots of good ideas and knows everything about everything that matters to you.
So that's what I should meditate on.
That's what meditation brings you to. Not that's what you should meditate on. That's what meditation allows you to receive. Meditation quiets your mind so all this stuff is no longer active and in your way, and hooks you up with the knowing that we just described to you here. And at first, it won't come to you in the form of words. It may come to you in the form of breathing, as our friend said, or it comes to you in the form of impulses. So you get an impulse of something that seems completely unrelated to your business, that leads you to a new friendship that seems completely unrelated to your business, that leads you to an interaction with a lifetime partner of great success. In other words, you just got to let it be what it be and not try to make it something else. We think that what has almost everybody mixed up is that you are oriented toward the step one, the problem mode. Most humans feel like they've just got to talk about the problem. They've got to solve the problem. They've got to get to the bottom of the problem. They've got to explain the problem. They've got to overcome the problem. And we want you to look at it differently. We want you to say, okay, I've identified the problem and I've asked the question, and the answer has long been ready for me. And now I'm going to get into the receiving mode. Just feel the ease of that. And it is our promise to you, it will come.
Can you get help getting into the receiving mode? Like maybe have a drink or something, or is that not okay? I don't care. I'm trying to figure out any kind of way to get in there. And I don't want to have resistance either way toward anything, you know? And I don't know. I wasn't going to ask you that, but I feel guilty about it, you know. I feel like that's cheating, kind of, or something, you know.
It isn't cheating, it's just less effective. You can get into the receiving mode by drinking. You just will have no benefit of knowing what you received. What you received just won't make any sense to you. And you won't be able to follow through on it. And you might feel relief of not being in the receiving mode, but there's no real benefit to that. And anyway, what's so hard about listening to the air conditioner?
I feel antsy sometimes.
Well, have you ever stayed there long enough that it went away?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
If you had the opportunity to talk to infinite intelligence, and infinite intelligence said, you want a lot of things, and we know what they all are, and we know how to get you to them. But you can't hear the direct answer. You're not ready for that. You can only hear the indirect answer. So get your mind quieted down, and we'll start feeding some indirect answers to you that will lead you to everything that you want. Wouldn't you kind of want to do that?
Absolutely. That's the clarity that I want.
Wouldn't you kind of want to do that? Well, you could do it by making a list of positive aspects every day. But when you look out into the world and you make a list of positive aspects, probably something that you write down is going to remind you of something that made you mad, or that something that bothered you, or something that made you feel bad. Almost everything is connected to almost everything. And so, anyway, you get the point of what we're talking about.
So the air conditioner will now be my friend, and I'm going to...
anything that you can focus on.
What about a candle?
A flickering candle is a good idea, except that your eyes are open, and therefore there may be more things that distract you. But there's no right or wrong way to do this. We're just suggesting the way that is the easiest for most.
Okay. So I really appreciate your clarity. It's so hard to explain being up here. And
we like knowing that you know that we have clarity. And we would like you to know that the clarity that we hold is yours. It can be yours. We're not ever holding anything back. And that any time that you don't feel clarity, it's just because you're focusing on something in some other receptive mode. So what you want to do is to tune into the receptive mode of the clarity that we hold, the clarity that your inner being knows about you. You don't want to talk to others that don't know about you. You want to tune into who does know about you. But first, we're asking a lot of you. We're asking you to accept that there is a non-physical part of you who is actively involved in your life. Do you believe that? That's a really important thing. That's where you got to start. Yes, I believe that my inner being is aware of me and interested in my feeling great. And my inner being knows everything that I want. And next, do you believe that you have the ability to tune your frequency so that you and your inner being are one? How do I do that? You don't offer vibration that's off. You tune it. Well, I don't exactly know how to tune it. Well, just don't offer any vibration that's off, and it's a self-tuning thing. The vibration of your inner being is so significant. Your inner being will tune you unless there is resistance that won't let you. You see? Because you have free will. You're not a puppet. Your inner being cannot get inside of you and remove all the resistance and change the way you think. It's nothing like that. It's everything that you have thought about has resulted in this precise vibrational reality that is made up of things that you desire. And your inner being is saying, essentially, we know what you have chosen, and we stand with it and offer a vibration of it. And when you're not doing otherwise, you'll naturally be tuned to that frequency. Did you get that?